shotgun.
Sullivan.
Bell.
¡Apúrense, putos!
Guacamole de federales.
No más faltan los nachos.
The film opens with a lone man driving away from the Mexican border, his silence as heavy as the desert heat surrounding him. During a brief stop when he got a flat tire, the truth emerges. A wounded mafia drug dealer, later identified as Tortuga, lies captive in the trunk of his car. After consulting a map to verify his route, the man makes a decisive move. He douses the vehicle in fuel and sets it ablaze, watching the flames consume both the car and any remnants of his former life. With $2 million secured in a bag, he continues toward the desolate town of Elfrontteras. The unforgiving sun beats down as he treks across barren land without water. Eventually, he comes upon a makeshift shelter inhabited by 3 men. When he notices one of them cruelly mistreating a dog, he seizes the moment to incite a confrontation, hoping to claim their water in the ensuing chaos.
Leave the dog alone.
Es un gringo.
¡Hijo de puta!
The plan fails when the water spills onto the sand during the fight. Left empty-handed and still dehydrated, he frees the dog and presses forward. Upon his arrival in the nearby town of Elfrontteras, a place notorious for ruthless criminals and corrupt cops, he barely has time to take in his surroundings before trouble finds him. Parched and desperate for water, he steps toward a public tap. In the blink of an eye, a young girl named Flocka lunges at him, swift and feral, forcing him back. The message is clear: nothing in Elfrontteras comes free.
Dame la bolsa o te chingo, cabrón.
You're holding the knife wrong, honey. Supposed to hold the knife blade down. Give me your shirt.
What?
Your camisa. Give it to me. Atta girl.
Driven by thirst, he pushes into a dimly lit bar thick with smoke and suspicion. Behind the counter stands Anna, the bartender, her sharp eyes studying him long before he speaks. He orders a glass of water. Instead of serving him, she examines the bills he offers and calmly informs him they're fake. Water, he quickly learns, is rarer than mercy in this town. Without flinching, he raises the offer, $500 for a single glass. Anna's lips curl faintly. "Gringos don't drink this water," she says, sliding the money inside her bra. Whether it's a warning or an insult, he can't tell. Confused but unwilling to argue, he heads to the bus station, intent on leaving for Acapulco, a place where he can spend his luxury. The clerk tells him there are no buses available today, he'll have to return tomorrow. Frustration flashes across his face. He presses her, "Will there definitely be a bus tomorrow?" She gives him a vague nod, more dismissal than reassurance. Later, back at Anna's bar, he questions her about the bus schedule. She leans closer and admits that buses to Acapulco do run daily at 2 p.m. The station attendants misled him deliberately. They wanted him stranded, another traveler forced to spend money in Elfrontteras before escaping it. The town feeds on delay. With no options left, he asks Anna if there's anywhere he can sleep for the night. After a long pause, she offers him a room in the attic. One night, she says firmly. Elfrontteras isn't for tourists. The attic smells of dust and old wood. Exhaustion pulls him under, and sleep drags him into the past. In his dream, he sits beside his former unit in the car on a mission ordered by Lieutenant West. They had been sent to investigate a powerful drug cartel operating near the border. At the location, he hesitates for a fatal second before diving down to retrieve his shotgun. The mission seemed routine, until the ambush. Gunfire erupts without warning. When they cautiously approached the car, expecting silence, the car trunk burst open. He emerged, not wounded, not shaken, but unrelenting. After being shot in his right hand by the drug dealer Tortuga, he soon encounters another powerful trafficker who survived the car explosion. Despite his injury, the two men confront each other, and what follows is a brutal fight for survival. At last, he managed to defeat his opponent and made his way to the drug dealer's car. There, he found Tortuga attempting to flee with the bag of money despite his injuries. The man confronted him and prevented him from escaping with it. The dream shifts. Anna stands before him, a knife pressed cold against his throat. Her voice accuses him, drug dealer, bank robber, liar. No innocent man carries that much cash. He denies it, but doubt flickers in her eyes. Suddenly she grabs the bag and hurls it out the window. The man jumps outside. In the street, he spots Flacca again, clutching the bag as she runs. He gives chase through the twisting alleys of Elfrontteras. The town seems to close in around him, shadows stretching, laughter echoing from unseen corners. The pursuit ends abruptly when she collides with a passerby, sending both of them crashing to the ground. Her bag skids across the pavement. Before he can recover it, a group of thugs surrounds the man. They seize his bag and begin tossing it between themselves, laughing as they mock and humiliate him in the middle of the street. Fury ignites in his eyes. Without hesitation, he launches at them. The chaos draws attention. Moments after, the town's most feared drug lord, Culebra, arrives alongside the corrupt chief of police. They accuse the stranger of disturbing the town's fragile order. With feigned authority, they return his bag and coldly instruct him to leave immediately, unaware that the bag contains a fortune in cash. The story shifts. At a blood-soaked crime scene near the border, an investigative unit works alongside a forensic team, documenting the aftermath of a brutal raid. Lieutenant West surveys the carnage with restrained disbelief. He had sent 4 men on the mission. 3 bodies have been recovered. That means 1 survived. West concludes the missing officer cannot be far, likely heading toward the Mexican border. The possibility unsettles him. Back in town, the stranger sleeps on a worn bench beneath a flickering streetlight. In the stillness of night, Flacca approaches with deliberate, silent steps. She snatches his bag and retreats, but not before tying his leg to the bench with rope, buying herself time. He wakes instantly. By the time he frees himself, she has already disappeared into the maze of alleyways. He pursues her relentlessly and eventually corners her, reclaiming his bag once again, this time with a warning in his silence.
Thanks a lot, kid.
At the police station in Elfrontteras, Culebra leans across the chief and lowers his voice, saying that the Gringo is carrying a bag stuffed with cash. Temptation does the rest. Persuaded by the promise of easy money, the chief orders Culebra to make sure the stranger misses the 2 p.m. bus out of town. Within minutes, Culebra rallies his thugs to swarm the bus station, fanning out across the dusty streets like vultures circling prey. Meanwhile, unaware of the net tightening around him, the stranger pauses at the streets to buy a bottle of water. That is when Nako strikes. He barges in, points a gun at the man's back, and demands the bag. But Nako's bravado outweighs his skill. He forgot to cock the weapon. In a flash, the stranger twists the gun from his hand and sends him stumbling back in humiliation. On the streets, the stranger notices armed men flooding the town, searching for him. There is no escape now. He steadies himself, knowing only one option remains: war. Amid the chaos, the clock strikes 2. The bus pulls away without him, just as Culebra planned. Eventually, outnumbered and battered, the stranger falls into their hands. Flocka slips away with the bag as Culebra steps forward to execute his prize.
Fuck! Just listen to me. Just give me the bag. They're gonna kill you for that money.
Fuck you, puto!
He raises his gun, but before he can fire, the man waves the blade through the air, striking his wrist and deflecting the shot to Flocka. After shooting bullets in both sides of his arms, Anna bursts from nowhere and smashes a concrete block against Culebra's skull, and drags the wounded stranger to safety. Back in the United States, Lieutenant West confronts Deputy Chief Logan. The recent deaths of his men weigh heavily on him, and he demands control of the investigation. Logan refuses. He insists that Border Patrol and the DEA Mobile Enforcement Division have taken over. West should stand down. He doesn't. Instead, West uses his vacation leave as cover. At the Mexican border, he bluffs his way past security, posing as a DEA agent attached to the New Mexico Police Department in La Paz. The lie works. He crosses into Mexico and heads straight for Elfrontteras. Hidden in Anna's modest home, the stranger receives basic medical care. As she tends to his wounds, a quiet bond forms between them, born of danger and necessity. Outside Anna's house, a pack of gang members storms the yard, demanding to know the whereabouts of the man they call the Gringo. Anna refuses to speak. Her silence only fuels their menace. Culebra, their ruthless enforcer, steps forward and threatens to drive her out of town, or bury her in it. Determined to break her resolve, he fires a shot into the air, intending to terrify her into submission. Unbeknownst to them, Lieutenant West has just arrived in town. The crack of the gunshot slices through the evening, drawing him toward the chaos. He moves swiftly and finds the Gringo peering nervously through a nearby window. In one decisive motion, his gun leveled at him, He accuses the man of betraying his own crew. West drags him outside, where the gang continues to harass Anna. With cold authority, he fires several shots into the air. They protest, claiming the Gringo stole their money, but West silences them. He declares himself a lieutenant from the New Mexico Police Department, asserting his authority to take both the suspect and the stolen cash back to the United States. Intimidated by his badge and his command, the gang reluctantly stands down. The Gringo is taken to the Elfrontteras police unit. There, in the dim light of a holding cell, he reveals a devastating truth. Lieutenant West orchestrated the ambush that led to the deaths of undercover officers during a drug operation. West, the decorated officer, is the architect of betrayal. Meanwhile, Culebra begins to suspect that West has no intention of delivering the money as promised. His boss dismisses the doubt, insisting West will follow through. Yet when the chief inquires about the Gringo's fate, he coldly orders Culebra to eliminate him. Culebra strides toward the cell with lethal intent, only to find it empty. The Gringo has escaped. Now fully aware of West's treachery, the Gringo hijacks a car and races after him. The pursuit barrels toward the border in a storm of dust and desperation. Engines roar. Tires scream against asphalt. At the crossing, the Gringo rams West's vehicle with brutal force, crushing the passenger side. Both men lose consciousness in the wreckage. Moments later, West stirs and struggles to flee. But the Gringo rises first, bloodied yet resolute. He draws his weapon, aims steadily, and ends West's life with a single, final shot. Back in town, Anna faces her own reckoning. Accused of harboring a fugitive, she is sentenced to death by Culebra and his mafia crew. As he presses the barrel of his gun against her head, a dog barks in the distance. The crowd turns. The Gringo emerges from the shadows. He scatters money into the stunned crowd, exposing the corruption that poisoned the town. When the police chief orders his men to fire, they hesitate. One by one, they drop their weapons and vanish into the dispersing masses. With West dead and the truth laid bare, the corrupt reign collapses. Silence settles over the town like a long-awaited dawn. Peace, at last, returns.
Down my money!
Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe and press the like button for more chilling movie clips.